Domestic violence, I think, in France went up by about 30% in the first 3 weeks of their own lockdown. We don't seem to have those kind of data here in Nigeria, so I don't know how far our own statistics might be with regards to that, because people are stuck together with people they might not necessarily want to be with. How are couples coping or supposed to cope in times like this?
Okay, when you, first of all, thank you very much for having me, Ebuka. It's a pleasure being here again with you. When you actually talk about domestic violence, and you're talking about domestic violence in marriage, so those places you have mentioned, South Africa and maybe France, but let's maybe more of South Africa. I'm not sure if we go by the statistics in South Africa, even if we don't have statistics in Nigeria, that kind of statistics in Nigeria, I'm not sure that it's that bad in Nigeria. That's the truth, because without mincing words, I think there has been a level of domestic violence in South Africa that really needs to be curbed. Really curbed. It's not. It's beginning to look like it's a lifestyle. But when it comes to Nigeria, look, listen. A lot of people might tell you that the statistics is the same, but it is not. It's not the same thing when it comes to Nigeria. And the reason is this. There's a lot of awareness that's been going on, even before the pandemic. A lot of awareness has been going on concerning domestic violence. It's all over. Nigerians are not joking with it anymore. They are beginning to come all out to talk about it. They're putting it on the internet. You find social media, carrying anything they can find that relates to domestic violence about anybody at all, put it up there. And because of that, people are becoming more cautious about how they go about this. So when it comes to marriage or marriages and the aspect of domestic violence, now there are, but compared to the places you mentioned, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. And I think I know what I'm saying, because these are people I work with consistently, most of the time. But I'm not ruling it out that there are no domestic violence in Nigeria. I'm not ruling that out, no. I'm just saying that the awareness
it's quite bunched. But I just want to, I guess my question is, in a time like this, because we're in very unusual times, we're hearing stories about people who have other ailments, who are even finding it difficult to get, attention in hospitals. It's almost the same thing with people who might have other cases, because security operatives are sort of overwhelmed now dealing with what the entire world is dealing with. So domestic violence sometimes has gotten underplayed, by security operatives. Sometimes when you call, they say, oh, now husband and wife matter, make una go settle them, In a time like this, if you're stuck with someone who's sort of abusive, how do you handle it? Who do you run to? Is this a time where we still believe the police should be the one to call? Are neighbors even going to be able to help, since nobody is able to touch anyone else? How do couples cope in a time like this?
Look, I think part of what is going on right now is, you see, one of the major things that Nigerians want to see happen for them right now is that they get back to work. A lot of Nigerians actually think they're losing so much. So when it comes to the aspect of, couple fighting over this, fighting over that, what most couples are doing right now is they're giving space. Those who have such kind of issues are giving space to each other. They're giving space to each other. You find a couple living together, and there's this thing about realizing that, look, we are having issues. We can't even talk anymore. It seems a lot has changed between us, and we didn't even know it. We've come so far apart. What is going on? What is happening? This might surprise you, but maybe you want to check it out after the show. The problem we are facing is that you find a couple leaving home to go to stay in an hotel instead of fighting anybody. Just getting out of the house. If he cannot handle it anymore. And for the cases that I have heard of in Nigeria, where maybe there is a measure of, violence going on, neighbors are intervening. Neighbors are intervening. I want to show you about one thing you need to know about Nigerians. Even at a time like this, a lot of people have come to realize that it's unfortunate that sometimes the security agencies where you expect so much from may not be giving you as much as is required. So Nigerians are learning to look out for themselves now. Nigerians are actually learning to look out for themselves at this point in time that we're living in. So Even from cases I've heard, there are cases whereby neighbors have had to intervene and try to make sure that, look, these things just don't happen. So for the case of Nigerians, from what I see and from what I know and from the experiences I've had so far, a lot of Nigerians are looking out for themselves at this point in time because they know that things are very bad. They know that it's going to come to an end. And as they're looking forward to it, while there's pockets of frustration in certain quarters, there are some people who are still saying, look, we got to look out for ourselves at this point in time. And they're doing a lot of that. For example, you find out that some of these palliatives are being given here and there. Some of these gifts are being taken around here and there. There are more people that are doing so much but are not putting it on social media, helping this person or that person. I hear about cases of people, who receive gifts, from certain quarters they didn't even expect they will ever receive gifts from. This mobile food network that's going on are actually doing quite a number of things right now, because you find great people, kind people who are actually sending, telling the mobile food mat to go and deliver food to certain people. And by the time they find out it's like you now, I'm asking who sent this, and they say Ebuka, and I'm surprised because the last person I expect to send something to me is Ebuka. But that's what's going on. That's what's going on right now. But the point I'm trying to make is there's nothing happening in marriages in Nigeria right now that has not always been there. But one of the things Nigerians are learning to do is giving space, trying their best to give as much space as possible, because they do not think that this is something that is going to be everlasting. Nigerians have a way of looking forward to the end of things that should be, so that they can continue and do things that ought to be. And that is happening a lot, which is not being reported, funny enough, by quite a number of people.
I want to talk about the other side of this narrative now. There are couples who sort of got cut apart when the lockdown happened, either in different states or in different cities or even different countries. I know a couple who was supposed to be getting married yesterday. The wife is somewhere else in the world and the husband is here, and the marriage, of course, can't hold. But they haven't seen themselves now in about 7 weeks. There are people who believe that, distance breeds distrust. How do couples who are apart in times like this keep things healthy and fresh and, stay as connected as they should be?
Well, okay, it's a good thing you're asking me that, because just this morning, I was chatting with a lady whose husband could not make it because of the closure of the airport. Now, he was actually working, hoping that there's no way he will not make it. He will probably still get to the airport on time. And at the end of the day, by the time he got around, this is a true story, not like he was trying to play around, no. He found out that he couldn't make it. And he's not far away. The wife is in Lagos. He's in Kaduna. He's not far away, amazingly. He's not far from the wife. Not too far, like I mean. But at the end of the day, they've been apart for about a month now or thereabouts. And what they have been trying to do is to stay in touch, talk. Funny enough, they were quarreling. They were not really talking on talking terms before this actually happened to them. But right now, they find themselves, they have to talk, talk because of the situation on ground. And so they're discussing a lot of things. They're beginning to reach out to themselves, to each other. Another case is a case of a lady who told me that she just found money. She just found money in our account. She just got an alert. And it was this time it was a boyfriend who actually could not reach out, could not actually see her like they used to see. And all he had to do was send that. What she now did was she had to send a mobile food man to actually send some food to him. And while she was talking to him, she realized that this was that they were already by his door. But she didn't even behave like she knew what was going on. And before he knew what was happening, there was a knock on the door. And then she opened the door. He was telling her that, look, sorry, let me just answer this call. I don't know who's by the door. And they told her, this food is from your woman, And the truth is, a lot of that is also going on. Couples are relating. Couples are settling down. You are relating with me right now, and I mean Benin Republic. You are in Nigeria.